One. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the Thunderbird podcast. You know, your host, Avery, and Adon, of course. I don't really
What's
know why
going
I said,
on?
yeah, I don't really know why I introduced this as if this isn't the 10th podcast or anybody, hey, whatever. Uh, anyways, today we're gonna wrap up with like the last little things that happened in free agency just before the draft. And then after that, we're going to hop on right into the draft, talk about where we think a few players should go, and then talk about team needs from there because we're not going to do a full mock draft. So without further ado, let's get into it with free agency wrapping up. So there's only a few things that happened. Uh, we'll start off first. Julian Edelman retired. He was first released by the Patriots, and then right after he got released by the Patriots, he retired. Don, what are your thoughts?
I think he's a hell of a player. Definitely a key member of New England for the past decade. So I think in the long run, I don't think this is going to be a big loss, maybe a big locker room loss, but on the field product, I don't think like his production was going down anyway. So I think now, obviously, like the big debate. Now, I will say he's retiring with 3 rings. He's retiring as one of the best playoff receivers of all time. But I don't think it'd be. In my book, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I personally. But I do think that he's definitely in the Hall of Very Good. I think he was a very good player. He wasn't transcendent. I don't think he necessarily made his teammates better or anything like that. But I think he was, at the end of the day, I think he was a great player. Uh, I mean, in terms of watching the NFL, it's not going to be like how Drew Brees would retire, like how that's going to affect my viewability of the NFL. But but yeah, I think he was a great player. He had one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history when he caught it off that deflection and he caught it with like his fingertips. I think that was insane. So it's sad to see him go, but like uh, like the old commissioner says, the NFL moves on and keeps on going.
Yeah, so the big debate that's been going on with Julian Edelman's retirement is, is he Hall of Famer or not? I'm gonna give my answer. I'm gonna say no. I don't think he is worthy of Hall of Fame. He's never been to the Pro Bowl. He never was voted All Pro. I mean, 3 rings is impressive. And I will say, I mean, he was a key part of Patriots dynasty. Like I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He was a good player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I don't think he had a Hall of Fame career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every year he was just a pretty good receiver. Honestly,
Yeah.
he was never a top 5. I don't even know if I would say he was ever a top 10 receiver in any of the years he played. Maybe top
Mm,
15, but top
maybe.
10, no, no, I don't think so. And I'm looking up some stats right now, just to compare Julian Edelman and Calvin Johnson, who was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. Julian Edelman, 620 receptions. Calvin Johnson, 731. 6,822 yards for Julian. 11,619 for Megatron, with only about 100 more. That's like almost a 5,000 yard difference with
Yeah.
only with only with only five with only 100 more catches. Um, Julian Edelman, 36 touchdowns. Megatron, 83. That's over twice the
Really?
yeah
Wow.
over twice the amount of touchdowns that Edelman had. And well, I mean, the only thing that Edelman has that Megatron doesn't is Super Bowl rings, which is a team effort, not an
Yeah.
individual effort.
Yeah.
Like
Unless you're a quarterback, it's pretty much a team effort.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the big thing is Brady Belichick. That's the story.
Yeah.
I mean, they have great players other than Brady. Gronkowski, he's probably gonna get inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, by far.
And Julian Edelman was one of those solid Patriot players. I can definitely agree with you when you say that it's not a big team loss, but it's a big locker room loss. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as you said, there's a reason why it's not a huge team loss. Like
Mm-hmm.
he didn't play that much last season, so and they signed a few receivers, so they'll be. I think the Patriots will do just fine without him.
Yeah. And if a
Uh,
team is going to do fine without you, that's even a bigger sign that you probably shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, I mean, hey, congrats on a good career and congrats on winning 3 Super Bowls. That's no easy feat,
Yeah.
even if it's a team effort. I mean, he did have one of the best Super Bowl catches ever against the Falcons, and he had the game. That was a game-saving catch. I got to give him that.
Yeah.
You know, and holy crap, he was a Super Bowl MVP. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's because that was the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen. Patriots Rams. That was terrible.
It was a terrible Super Bowl. Even the halftime shows sucked
There was
too.
nothing good about that Super Bowl.
That was a bad day.
There was only because they were two of the best offenses in the league, and then it ended up being only 13-3. Like, dude, the Rams offense that year was god, it was insane. They had the epic 54-51 win against the Chiefs, one of the best football games ever,
Mm-hmm.
and it ended up being a 13-3 Super Bowl. Yeah, the game sucked. It was boring. Yeah, halftime show sucked. Who was that? Was Travis Scott, wasn't
Justin
it?
Timberlake.
No.
Oh,
Justin
no,
Timberlake
Adam
was.
Levine. Adam Levine. Adam Levine.
Oh, was it Adam Levine?
Adam Levine and Travis Scott. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
And
God,
then
Adam Levine.
Big Boy from Outkast. Not they couldn't even get Andre 3000. They had to get the other one.
Dude, yeah. Dude, that's so funny.
That was
Oh
a
my,
terrible.
dude, they robbed us of the Bubble Bowl halftime show. Remember that? They hyped up the
What was a
Sponge.
bubble bowl?
Remember
Oh yeah,
this? Yeah, the
yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants Bubble Bowl episode.
Horrendous. They gave us like a little peek of that.
Yeah, I really was looking forward to a SpongeBob Bubble Bowl halftime show. That would have been epic, but they robbed us with Adam Levine and Travis Scott doing what's that one song with Drake, the
Sicko mode.
Sicko Mode. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Honestly, they would have been better off not including the SpongeBob bit at all than even including the little
Yeah.
part. They
Oh
would
yeah.
they should have just not have done it in the first
Yeah,
place.
no, they shouldn't have done it because I got so hyped when I saw SpongeBob and then nothing. And then Sicko Mode starts and I was like, dude,
It's like I don't care about Sicko mode. I care about my boy Sponge.
yeah, yeah, we were robbed. We were robbed. And dude, and the commercials sucked. I specifically remember that too. The commercials sucked. I can't remember a single. I mean, commercial Super Bowls have been on the decline anyways, but but that year I remember there was nothing. Yeah.
It was a bad year for. Here's the thing: the season was so good. Like it was such a
Yeah.
good season. And the playoffs that year were good. But I guess they just like we can't finish on a good note.
No. No,
Yeah.
and the Patriots won another Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. It was. God, there hasn't been a good all around playoffs in a while. Like where every game was like good. I mean, I guess this past year was pretty good.
It was definitely the best playoffs since probably that season or the
For
Eagles Super Bowl
2017.
season.
2017.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was 2017. Because you had the Eagles winning, Minneapolis Miracle, Steelers Jaguars, Jaguars Patriots. What else did you have? You had Eagles Falcons.
Yep.
You had and then,
Falcons Rams.
yeah, that was a great. And then you had the Eagles blowing out the Vikings, which came out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then the Super Bowl was good. So like
Yeah.
that was like the best playoff. That was the best all around playoffs.
That's
Like
that yeah, that yeah, the last really good Super Bowl was honestly the Eagles Super Bowl. I'm not even saying that because I'm an Eagles fan. Like, I mean, it was the
yeah,
most
good game. Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the highest scoring Super Bowls in NFL history. And
How
it
is it
was
not the highest? Well, what's the highest then?
I don't know. Well, I definitely know for a fact it's not the highest scoring by one team, but it's close to the most combined points for Super Bowl history.
Mhm.
And I do know for a fact it does hold the record. That Super Bowl holds the record for most passing yards in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
combined.
yeah. I mean, they went off.
Dude, yeah, Brady and Foles combined for like 1,100 yards. Or no, maybe not that much, but like it was over 1,000. It was over a
Yeah.
1,000 yards.
Uh-huh. I see.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was insane.
We got way off topic.
Yeah, we did. Anyways,
Nice.
congrats, Julian Edelman.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats, Edelman, on a good career.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Anyways, just geez, going on to the next free agency thing. Um, James Conner signed with the Cardinals, once Steeler. What do you think about that?
Well, they lost Kenyon Drake, and the one thing that the Cardinals kind of do need is a running game because obviously you can't just have Kyler running around all the time. So I don't know if James Conner. I mean, here's the thing: he was good in his rookie year, but then that was it. Ever since then, he's just been
Yeah.
average. The Steelers had like the worst rush offense last year.
Oh well, he was injured most of the time, but nonetheless, I feel like even if he wasn't injured, they still would have had an atrocious run
Run
game.
game, yeah,
Like just their run blocking was crap, and just the play calling for runs was terrible.
yeah. And
And
so the signing I guess is okay. I mean, they're gonna be, if anything, they're gonna be more pass friendly. So
yeah,
I think people should just look to that. I'm gonna be looking to that for the Cardinals. I'm gonna be looking for Kyler Murray's development. The last thing you want is for him to be running around 8 times a game. You want him to be a quarterback first, a
yeah,
gunslinger.
yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I think it's a good signing, I guess, because they needed a good. I guess he was the best available on the market, I suppose. I don't know about that. I mean, Todd Gurley was still on the market.
Wow, I didn't know
Yeah,
Todd Gurley was the free agent. Huh?
yeah,
Holy
he's a free
crap.
agent. Yeah, so I guess they looked for an affordable option. So
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna change anything. I'm sure he'll be good on on those 3rd and 2 runs. But other than that, I don't. It's a good. It's a nice C+B- signing.
yeah. So I think I have another question. Do you think he could or will return to his rookie season form with the
Um,
Cardinals?
I don't think so. Once you get an injury that early into your career, it's hard to come back from, especially when you still have so much to prove. Players tend to fall off. I mean, look at Todd Gurley. I mean,
Yeah,
he
our
was
dude
like he had a great first 3 seasons, and then um,
arthritis.
yeah, arthritis. So they all have challenges, and I feel like running backs today they're a dying breed, man. There's so few of them, like few like elite running backs that it's just it's sad. I mean, there's the 2000s. Almost every team had a great running back.
Dude,
I can I
yeah,
can I can name them. Are you ready?
yeah.
Let me just this is gonna pop into your minds. Okay,
Okay.
you had LT,
Yep.
you had Brian Westbrook,
Yup.
you had Clinton Portis, Sean
Who's
Alexander. Clinton Portis was the Redskins running back.
that? Okay, that's right. I remember that now. Yep.
Sean Alexander.
Yep.
You had Lawrence Maroney from the Patriots.
Okay.
You had Joseph Adai for the Colts.
Yup. I remember that.
Who else? You had Chris Johnson,
Yup.
Steven,
Titans.
Steven
Steven
Jackson.
Jackson, the Rams. Yeah, Oregon
Yeah,
State, baby.
Jamal Charles.
Yup.
So who else? The
Jerome
Steelers had
Bettis.
Jerome Bettis, Rashard Mendenhall.
Ray
And
Rice
then
before he beat his wife in an elevator.
yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
You had who else did you have? They're probably missing a bunch of them. Cedric Benson.
Yeah, Cedric
You
Benson.
had who else did you have? I mean, there's great ones.
I really don't want to say it, but Marion Barber, Cowboys. I'll admit he was good. I hated
He
him.
was good. Yeah, he was good with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
good.
dude, the Dolphins
Marion
still had
Barber was good.
the Dolphins still had Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams,
Yeah.
Tiki
Oh,
Barber.
Kiki Barber, Mercedes, or no, was it
Mercedes.
Maurice
Oh,
Jones-Drew.
Maurice
Maurice
Jones-Drew. Is
Jones-Drew.
that you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
yeah.
Adrian Peterson. I mean,
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
it
Adrian
just it keeps
Peterson.
going.
Yeah.
So like I'm telling you, like running backs were such a hot commodity in the
Dude, they
2000s, and
were,
then you
man.
saw kind of a slow decline in the late 2010s, and now you got Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Kamara, and
McCaffrey, Saquon.
McCaffrey, Saquon. We'll see. We don't. It's a torn ACL. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see how
true.
he comes back. Uh, and then
Leonard Fournette. Yeah, it's all
he's
right.
not
It's
really
all right.
elite, but he's not
Yeah,
elite.
yeah,
I'm talking like elite, like
yeah.
franchise running backs.
Franchise
If
running
you're
back.
if you already been on more than one team, you're kind of not a franchise running back.
Yeah, that's
Who
true.
else? I don't even know. It's just like those four that I mentioned. That
I think
McCaffrey,
you mentioned
Cook,
six.
Kamara, Henry. Those are like the four elite running backs. Everyone else is kind of just like
Oh, dude, hold
they're
on. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb.
who. I feel like him and Kareem Hunt are kind of like they're kind of like a mix together. Like they're kind of
Dude,
like
nah,
they're
man.
like
No,
a
Nick Chubb
two-headed
is
beast
no. Nick
instead.
Chubb's a franchise running back, dude. I've had that dude in my
Are you
fantasy
sure?
team, dude.
Oh
That
god.
Nick Chubb has been one of my most consistent fantasy players the last 3 years.
All right, let me ask. Well, actually, no, it's not. No, he's not. Never mind.
N-
I was gonna say Austin Eckler, but
no,
he's more of a receiving back than a
where
running back.
is he anymore? Is he still
He's
with the
injured. He got
Chargers?
injured, but he's still good. But
No,
he's just
he's not a
he's like
friend.
people are saying he's gonna be like a fantasy breakout because now Herbert's good, so now it's gonna be like I think hey, look out for Austin Eckler, dude. You
Okay,
sleeping on my
okay.
boy Eckies.
Oh my God,
But other
he
than that, my main point is that running backs literally just don't matter anymore. Like
no,
they
it's
really
no. We're
don't.
definitely in a passing league, that's for sure.
Yeah, where this is quarterbacks, receivers only. There's gonna surplus of it. Running backs, no one runs the ball anymore. Like it's
Yeah,
weird how the real life NFL slowly turning into Madden. No one runs the ball. Everyone's you listen. You press smash fork every single play
yeah,
or slot drag. That's
yeah,
what you do. So running backs are a dying breed. Only a few are keeping the tradition alive, and God bless them. But
yeah.
all in all, James Conner to the Cardinals doesn't really mean anything.
Fair enough. Um, Before we get to the last important one, I'm gonna go with Eric Wilson to the Eagles. It hasn't been reported that much, but I love the signing. He was Vikings linebacker, and well, now he's with us. He reunites with Anthony Harris, and oh my God, I'm so happy because you guys have heard me address that the Eagles desperately been needing a linebacker, and I mean Eric Wilson. He's not like a I don't know if he's a top 10, but he's probably top 15 at least.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, he's a solid linebacker. He actually I can pull up some stats right now. But in the meantime, what do you think of that?
I actually didn't know who Eric Wilson was.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing he was a good linebacker for the Vikings, right?
Yeah, he was.
And I
Um,
guess. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so this last season he had 122 tackles and 3 interceptions, and he's only 26 years old.
Okay, so I've definitely been asleep at the wheel with this guy.
Yeah,
So I mean I will say I can't really speak too much about him. Obviously from what you just said, he's a great player. So I think he'll be a good difference maker. Do you think this will save Howie Roseman's job?
say that. The thing is, I've heard rumors that Jeffrey Lurie is like all over Howie Roseman for no good reason. So I don't even think I would say Howie Roseman's job is in jeopardy at all right
He's
now.
gonna be the Eagles general manager until Jeffrey Lurie dies.
Dear Lord, I hope not.
Well, that's gonna happen.
Gosh. Well, I mean, we'll see, man. But I don't. In the next few years, I don't see Jeffrey Lurie firing Howie Roseman. I really don't.
Mhm.
Not for at least like 3 years, at
And
least.
so does that mean you don't see the Eagles being good for the next few years?
I mean, who knows, man? I mean, Howie Roseman did somehow pull a Super Bowl out of the Eagles. So, I mean, You never
Was
know.
it
I mean,
Howie Roseman or was it Doug Peterson?
okay. I mean, I'm not saying it was Howie Roseman. I mean, he did make some good moves. He signed Jay. That was the last good season Jay had.
Yeah.
Um, like he signed him mid-season, which was a great mid-season signing because he paired him with LeGarrette Blunt. Holy crap! And the Eagles' run game was honestly pretty solid,
Mhm.
pretty solid. Um, I mean, I would attribute the Eagles Super Bowl more so to the combined coaching of Doug Peterson and Frank Reich.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson had the guts. Frank Reich, I think, had the mind.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So all in all, you like the signing.
Oh, all in all, yeah, of course. Yeah, I love the signing. It's yeah. We've this is the best linebacker we've had since our Super Bowl run. That was our Super Bowl run was the last time we had good linebackers, and now we finally have one again. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm stoked.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. And then if you have nothing else to say about that, then we can move on to the last big free agency signing before we go into draft talk. Jadeveon Clowney to the Browns. What do you think of that?
I think it is. I feel like obviously, like him as a player, his production doesn't really. I feel like he has a lot of name value, even though the production doesn't really hold up to what like his standards should be. But I do. At the end of the day, I think even though he doesn't get all the way to the quarterback, he still pressures the quarterback. He's still somebody you have to account for if you're an offensive lineman. And now they got Jadavion and they got Miles Garrett on two ends. And so I mean, if you said this to me like maybe 3 years ago, I would have said that's a deadly duo. Not that it's not going to be as good as I think it will be. I think it's going to be good. Does this make a pass rushing threat? I don't know because Clowney has 3 sacks over the past 21 games, which is if you were the number one pick in the draft, that's not really that's like underwhelming.
Yeah.
So excuse me. I think it's a good signing. I think he's going to be a good locker room presence. So at the end of the day, I think the Browns. I think they are Super Bowl contenders. They definitely have one of the best rosters in the league. So I'm rooting for the Browns this year. I'm rooting for Jadavion. I think it was a good. I think all in all, it was a good signing to pair him up with Miles Garrett.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a great signing. I think, yeah, I definitely account for the lack of production that he's had. He didn't have a single sack last season with the Titans. I mean, but at the same time, like nobody on the Titans defense did good. That the
Yeah,
Titans defense was pretty mediocre last season.
yeah. They had the
And
worst pass rush.
yeah, they did have the worst pass rush, and their defensive or their secondary wasn't that hot either. So I mean, and they had the worst third down defense in the league.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the Titans allowed more third down conversions than any team in the league. So I'm kind of wondering, I'm like, what if maybe it was just a Titans thing? It wasn't even like maybe Jadavion Clowney just wasn't, the Titan system wasn't for him. So I'm kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, even if like, despite his lackluster performance last season, I still think this is a great signing because one, he's still a good football player. I don't think his name holds as much value as it did after he left the Texans. That was the last really good season he had. But nonetheless, he's still a solid player. And I think having Miles Garrett on the other side is going to enable him more, Is if Miles Garrett is going to if Miles Garrett isn't going to sack the quarterback, you best believe he's going to be pressuring the quarterback. Miles Garrett, I
Yeah.
think, was in the top 3 for sacks last season. So if you got that on the other side, I think it's going to help Jadeveon Clowney make room to put more pressure and more hits on the QB. So I think I'm expecting Jadeveon Clowney to do better than he did last season. And
Hmm.
and if the Titans truly was just a bad fit, then this could be it could be a deadly duo. It really could be. And I think At worst, it's going to be solid.
Yeah,
But I think it has the potential for greatness. I mean,
I would definitely agree with that.
yeah. And plus, they have Malik Jackson up in the middle now. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think this was a great signing for the Browns defense, and has I with all the defensive signings they had this offseason, and they haven't really let any offensive players go. Dude, I really think the Browns are gonna. I really think they're probably gonna return to the playoffs. The only question is,
I
will
think
they
so
win the
too.
division?
I honestly think they will. I'm being honest. I think the Steelers are going to have a massive drop off.
Oh, for
Baltimore,
sure.
Baltimore. I don't know. I don't know if they've improved. I think they've actually lost more than they've gained in free agency.
Yeah,
They lost some defensive guys, and they signed Sammy Watkins, which I guess is a decent signing.
yeah,
So, but then again, I mean, if you look at Lamar's like career record, it's insane. Like all he really is a winner. Like right now, like he is a
yeah,
winner.
yeah.
They're
Lamar's a
literally they're
competitor.
yeah, they're always gonna be a good team.
Yeah, as
But
long as Lamar is healthy and playing for the Ravens will be competing.
yes, in the
They will
playoffs.
at the
So
least be competing for a wild card spot. They will always at the least be in the hunt
oh yeah, by far.
with
By
Lamar
far.
at quarterback.
Yeah. And so I think the Browns they should, in my opinion, I think they should win the division this upcoming year. If they don't, at the worst it should be a wild card, but they should definitely be shooting for to make the playoffs. Like to make a deep run in the playoffs. So if they don't, I think that'd be disappointing. Because listen, 11 listen, sneaking into the playoffs at 9-7, or even 8-8 or 10-6, that kind of proves it's like okay, you have the makings of a good team. The Browns went 11-5, which is a great 11-5 and up means you're for the most part a good team. That means you're an elite team. If anything, 11-5 is really good. So
Yeah, I
I
mean the whole
think
AFC side was just elite last year.
insane. I mean, when the lowest seed of that season was 11-5, and all
Wild
three
card teams were 11-5.
are 11-5, that is insane. That is competitiveness at its highest level.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what the Browns do. I think the defense is gonna, because obviously the defense was the weak point of that team, especially the secondary. The pass rush was still good because
Mm-hmm.
it's Miles Garrett,
Miles Garrett.
but
Yeah.
now you're adding another factor in, which is going to affect it. So I think they're primed for a deep run, and it's up to Baker. I honestly don't think they should trade Odell Beckham. Now that they've, because remember, I think Odell got injured in like week 9, I believe. And then after that, I think Baker, he had like 19 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, which is great.
That's why I think they should trade Odell.
But that's the thing. I think like now that they realize how they ran their offense after that and how successful they were, and I know it is Odell Beckham, I get that, but I think they're gonna be. I think if they figure out how to just implement him into their offense without Baker trying to force the ball to him, I think it could be really successful. And
Yeah, that's true. I
because that
mean,
was the curse before Kevin Stefanski got there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, that was. I mean, even before because the Browns started off the season okay. They didn't start
Yeah.
off bad, but they started off okay. It was once so. I mean, kind of sucks to say, but once Odell got injured, that's when the Browns really like they lit up.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, and that's just because of the dynamic between Baker and Odell. It's not really Baker's always trying to force Odell the ball, and because Odell's demanding for the ball, which that's got to change. Because I think you're right. I think if that dynamic can change, then oh man, that's gonna be insane.
Yeah. So I think it can. And listen, if it doesn't work, then you just trade Odell before the deadline next season, and then boom,
Yeah,
you get a first round pick.
yeah. Odell will go for a first rounder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's still elite.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that does it with free agency, I think. You have anything else to say?
No, I think it was a good free agency. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And then, I mean, there's still more to be done after the draft is over as well.
Yeah, the draft is now like the that this is gonna determine a lot of future NFL teams.
Yeah,
Uh, so I'm super excited for. I haven't been this excited for a draft since like 2016, probably. It's been a
that's gonna be a
while.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the draft is actually next Thursday, April the 29th. Yeah. So, but I mean, considering that it's 2 weeks till, I say it's not too early to talk about it.
Oh,
Definitely not too
it's
early.
just in time.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. So we're gonna go probably like the first like 10-ish picks,
Yeah,
something
that's
like
cool.
that, and talk about players that are gonna be drafted to teams. And then from there we'll probably just address team needs. So yeah, with that, started off the first pick in the 2021 draft. Wow, I'm saying this like Roger Goodell. Um, is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and well, everybody knows who they're picking. It's
T
Trevor
Law.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah, T Law. Yeah, dude. Actually, I just heard that the Jaguars have given Trevor Lawrence their playbook, their offensive playbook, ahead of the draft.
Damn.
Yeah, that's like how sure that is. That's insane. But let me ask you this:
Hmm.
do you think because the Jaguars didn't they add a decent receiver? They added the Jets added Corey Davis, but I don't know. I remember the Jaguars added a decent receiver, and my question is: do you think that the Jaguars could come close to a wild card this season with Trevor Lawrence? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I honestly don't think so. They like even though they're gonna get Trevor Lawrence and Urban Myers, their coach. At the end of the day, their roster still has like almost every position is it needs an upgrade. And so Trevor Lawrence is only solving the quarterback position, but they need help in every other single front on both sides of the football. So I still think they're going to be a bad team. If Trevor Lawrence can maybe get them to like a 5-11, 6-10 record, I think that would
5 and
be
12 or 6 and 11.
oh yeah, this stupid 17
Stupid
game.
17. Yeah.
So if it could be one of those, then okay. Basically, if he can win more than 5 games, I think, and even listen, even if they go 2-15, and but he throws for like, I mean, honestly, here's the thing: what the team does really doesn't matter. This season is about just developing him. It's not about they shouldn't be even thinking about wild card. The AFC is way too competitive to make a wild card. So at this point, you just gotta develop Trevor Lawrence, and I think he is gonna be a home run for them. I think he's gonna be the only quarterback who's still gonna be a starter 5 years from now out of
Out of this class, yeah.
so yeah, and it is a talented class, but if we're talking about longevity, this happens all the time. I mean, especially in the 2010s, there's only been like maybe like 6 knockout draft picks who have been successful. Mahomes, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson,
Andrew
Andrew Luck,
Luck.
Andrew Luck, and probably I wouldn't say Carson Wentz yet, because who else? Like knockout picks. So like at least in the like who were picked. Actually, it doesn't even matter when they were picked. Just who are still here today. I don't know, but I
Yeah, I don't
know
know.
Cam Newton won an MVP. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl. I mean, Cam Newton, yeah, even though he doesn't have a Super Bowl, he was still a franchise quarterback for the Panthers for an entire decade,
Dude, that was one of the most elite
seasons ever.
seasons ever by a
Yeah,
player.
well, that's one of the best MVP seasons we'll ever see. Like at least okay, if you want to say like best like stats wise, then I guess it was one of the most entertaining MVP seasons
Yeah, for
ever.
sure.
Him and Lamar definitely had entertaining MVP campaigns.
Yeah,
I would
that's
definitely say
true.
that.
Dude, I got lucky. I got Lamar in his MVP season on my
Oh
fantasy
yeah, you
team.
did. I remember that.
Dude, he racked me up so many points. I got a trophy in the back for me for fantasy football
Do
because
rushing yards count more for a quarterback in fantasy football?
they do. Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah, one. So every 25 passing yards is a point. or it's 20 yards, 25.
Mm-hmm.
But every 10 yards rushing is 1 point.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Also, then yeah, you're just getting banked then.
yeah. I was getting banked with Lamar, dude. It
Yeah,
was awesome.
that was insane. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Anyways,
And so I think Trevor Lawrence. Listen, he looks the part. He has the college stats. He was the best quarterback in his high school. He was easily the best quarterback in college football. And so I think, and he looks the part. Like it's like you when you see a prospect, you can just tell, like, okay, yeah, this guy, he's definitely gonna be a franchise quarterback 5 years from now.
yeah,
Everyone
for
thought that
sure.
with Luck. We thought that with Cam Newton. I don't think anybody expected it with Russell Wilson, uh,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
Mahomes.
hey,
But
we forgot about knockout picks. Justin
who?
Herbert, man, your guy.
We'll see. Here's the thing. It's because these guys had listen. If they were in the league for like more than 5 years,
Okay,
like I know
okay,
Mahomes is technically premature, but he won a Super Bowl already, so he's
and
obviously a
yeah,
knockout. And
and
so
yeah, Super Bowl
and
MVP.
there's been a
Yeah,
bunch of quarterbacks selected since 2010, a bunch of them.
yeah.
And let's be honest, like even like the ones who were picked in the first round, they honestly don't make it. Where's Paxton Lynch nowadays?
Oh
We don't know
my God.
where's Brandon Whedon. We don't know where Brandon Whedon is.
Mitchell Trubisky
Mitchell Trubisky.
is the Bills
Yeah.
backup now.
Yeah, and now look at Deshaun Watson. Look at the his window for success and how it's just closed now. So
Yeah,
stuff like this happens all the time. There's literally it really is a rare case, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be. Listen, I have faith in my boy Justin Herbert to to join that like very exclusive club. But yeah, man, I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna be like the next. I think he's gonna be the next one up, and it's a talented quarterback class. Him, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, who I'm very eager to see. And yeah, and that's so it's a great quarterback class, one of the best quarterback classes in a while. I mean, when you have a draft where critics predict that 5 quarterbacks may be taken in the first top 10, that's when you know that's a
yeah,
talented quarterback class. And so I'm excited to see it. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a knockout for the Jaguars.
yeah. Yeah, enough said. So, pick number 2 then falls to the Jets. A lot of people are reporting Zach Wilson to the Jets. I see it happening. What about you?
It's definitely going to happen. They traded Sam Darnold, so they're definitely locked in on Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
I think it's a good pick. People are saying he is. Some people are saying he's better than Trevor Lawrence, which
I don't see it. I don't
I
see
don't
it.
see it. I don't see it. I mean, I think people are getting it confused with how he's able to extend the play,
Yeah,
but that's one part. He doesn't have a stronger arm than Trevor Lawrence. The build is definitely significant,
yeah,
and I mean the college record is like he went to BYU, so he's not facing the biggest colleges ever.
yeah.
His most challenging opponent last year was Coastal Carolina,
Oh my
not
God.
even North Carolina or South Carolina or even NC State. It was Coastal Carolina, the football team. They're known for baseball. This is the football team. So and he lost that game too.
Oh
So
my God.
I think there I do get the point that most of today's great quarterbacks come from small colleges, or like the pure passers come from small colleges. Josh Allen went to Wyoming. Mahomes is from Texas Tech. And
Yeah,
so I do understand the reasoning, but at the end of the day, I think he has the makings to be successful. I just don't think the Jets. I
the
have
Jets need
faith.
more.
They need so much more because I feel like unlike Trevor Lawrence, where I think Trevor Lawrence can make stuff happen just because of him, Zach Wilson needs the weapons around him for him to actually flourish,
Yeah,
and that's something that the Jets don't. I mean, Corey Davis he's a good signing,
yeah.
but and the Devon Wims, I think, is that his name?
I don't even
Mims,
know.
something like that. He was an okay receiver. So I think he's definitely gonna take some time Do I think he's going to be here 10 years from now? In my opinion, no. I think Trevor Lawrence will. I don't know if he will.
Yeah.
So uh I will see. They're definitely taking a shot by taking him because they had Sam Darnold, but they clearly fell in love with Zach Wilson more. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to watch his situation in New York.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I have anything to add to that. I think you kind of hit all the points. I'm gonna let you keep that one. So
Thank you.
number three. I think this is where we really get into like a debatable
Guessing?
topic.
Yeah.
Is the 49ers traded up. They now have the third pick in the draft. So the 49ers have been saying we're not trading Jimmy. We're not trading Jimmy. We're going forward Jimmy. But why would you trade up for number three? Uh, Like you don't need Jamar Chase. Like you don't need to trade up to number three for Jamar Chase,
Yeah.
or Devontae Smith,
Or
so
Kyle
or
Pitts.
Jalen Waddle, in or Kyle Pitts, cause especially because they already have George Kittle, you know.
Yeah.
So what it tells me is that the Niners are looking for a quarterback. So from there, what do you think? Who do you think they're going to draft? Because a lot of people were thinking that they're going to take Mac Jones, but then Mac Jones had his pro day and he was overthrowing receivers left and right. He didn't have that good of a pro day.
I think it's going to be Justin Fields.
You think it's going to be
he
Justin Fields?
he has the experience. If you look at his stats, they're insane. Like last season, he had like 41 total touchdowns and only like 3 interceptions,
Oh, I didn't
which
know
is
that.
yeah. So I think and I saw some of his pro day highlights. Avery, he makes tremendous throws. So I think they're gonna go with him. I know the most popular reports is that they're taking Mac Jones. I think that would be a mistake. I think Justin Fields is definitely the safer pick. I think he definitely has the intangibles to be successful in San Francisco. I think honestly, every year some quarterbacks get drafted into good teams. Like Mahomes, like the Chiefs need Mahomes. They had Alex Smith already, so they didn't really need him, but they got him. Mahomes was blessed to get drafted to a good organization. Lamar Jackson, they had Joe Flacco, but he fell to their lap, and so the Ravens just decided to take him. He got blessed to get drafted to a good organization. The Niners right now, like in 2021, they just went to the Super Bowl, so they're a good organization right now. And Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. So I think if you give him now, he just wants to make the right quarterback. Jimmy G, as good as he is, he gets injured all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they need something more reliable. They can't be risking going to the playoffs every year based off of this guy's very fragile body. So they want someone who can be reliable. They want someone who's going to their schemes. I think Justin Fields is a perfect fit. I think he has the credentials, he has the arm and the build to do it. I think that would be the best pick for the 49ers.
I think I have to agree with you, considering that you know I don't think I know as much as you when it comes to these college quarterbacks, but I know enough to say that I think Justin Fields is the better option because in this league has been becoming progressively more dynamic with quarterbacks. This
Mm-hmm.
league is no longer a sit in the pocket league. You know,
Yeah,
the more successful quarterbacks today, the successful young quarterbacks today, they move.
yeah,
They move. Even if you're not as shifty as Lamar, you know, or you don't run as much or don't have as good as running ability as Mahomes. By the way, Mahomes' running ability is honestly like
underrated.
is underrated. Mahomes can move. That's another part of his incredible, to be legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you don't have moves like Lamar or Mahomes, like if you got moves still, like if you can move, like even if you can move even as good as Carson Wentz, which I mean Carson Wentz I think is like a solid like middle. Carson Wentz isn't, definitely not as fast or shifty as either of Lamar or Mahomes, but Wentz,
He's mobile.
Wentz is at the least he's mobile,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what this league is moving to is
Yeah,
a mobile quarterback. That's not Mac Jones.
yeah,
Mac Jones is is your 2008, your 2009. He's he's your Ben Roethlisberger. He's your Philip Rivers kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's your Matt Ryan or Matthew Stafford. I mean, Matthew Stafford's great though, and I think he's going to excel with the Lions or the Rams. But anyways, but nonetheless, he's not a mobile guy. So I think if you're the 49ers, I think the right choice is to take Justin Fields. And then maybe if you still want to stick with Jimmy G, I really don't think it would hurt to have him sit under Jimmy G for a little bit.
Yeah.
It could be one of those scenarios like where Lamar got drafted under Joe Flacco, or Alex Smith got drafted under Mahomes.
Yeah.
Other way around. Sorry, Mahomes got drafted under Alex Smith. It could be like one of those situations. So I definitely think the right choice to move, or the right choice to make, is to draft Justin Fields.
Yeah, I definitely think teams saw that with what happened with Mahomes. How people say Mahomes is not who he is today without that 1 year sitting on behind Alex Smith, and I do think that is true.
Yeah,
You definitely see,
Alex Smith is a great leader.
and you definitely see teams moving more towards that ideology. Justin Herbert was supposed to sit out the entire year behind Tyrod Taylor. Tua was sitting behind Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, the only reason Joe Burrow wasn't sitting behind anybody because the Bengals didn't have anybody.
Yeah, and
But
Jordan Love is sitting behind Aaron Rodgers.
exactly. And just like Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre and
Yeah,
Tom Brady sat behind Drew Bledsoe. So all these, all these dynamic players, they are all, I mean, it's definitely a recipe for success. If you're going to draft a young quarterback who, even though you feel you have a stable quarterback situation somewhat, and the Niners do have a stable quarterback situation. They got Jimmy G and they got Nick Mullins. So
Nick Mullins is
I
okay.
know, I know that, but get this. I think there's a stat. I think there's a stat of like the someone has like the most passing yards in their first 16 games, and I think Mahomes was like one, and Nick Mullins was second through their first 16 games.
That's wow.
I know, right? It's so that and that just proves how Kyle Shanahan, he's obviously good with quarterbacks. He has Nick Mullins as with a bizarre but very important record. So I think if you put Justin Fields in there, it works. And if you put Justin Fields, obviously I do think the Niners do need to sit Justin Fields behind Jimmy G, because Jimmy G, he's been in the league for a while now. This is like he's like his 8th year or something like that.
Yeah,
So I do think that him sitting behind Jimmy G, and listen, Jimmy G can feel any type of way he is about it, but you get injured a lot. That's that's not a recipe for success. And yeah, he did in his first full year, he didn't make a Super Bowl, which is saying something. But
that is impressive.
that was 1 out of 7 years.
Yeah,
So obviously, it's not convincing enough. And, the Niners got the personnel to do it. And I think that if you draft Fields, sit him for a year, watch what happens in 2022. We may see new franchise quarterback, but that's if they get him, and that's if they sit him.
yeah. And I like that pick too, just because the 49ers offense is already good. The run game has been solid for the last few years. George Kittle, the
Yeah.
receivers, dude, the receivers are low key solid. Brandon Ayuk, um, oh crap, I'm forgetting the other one, but Debo Samuel. Those are speedy, shifty guys who can really move down the field. And if you
Mhm.
add Justin Fields to that mix, it just adds more it just creates a more dynamic offense fit to make and win Super Bowls in this day and age.
Exactly.
So I really think they should go with Justin Fields on this one.
I agree.
At pick number 4 is Atlanta.
So there's rumors saying that they're going to trade out. They're going to
I've
give it
been
to.
hearing that too.
They're saying that the Broncos are probably gonna trade up, or another team might trade up to that number 4 spot. So I'm gonna go with the intention that they're not gonna trade out, and I think they're gonna probably get Kyle Pitts, who by far is the best receiver, wide receiver, tight end in this draft. He's very dynamic, and even though I don't think it's gonna do much for them this year, I do. Excuse me. I think it's going to be next for whoever takes over that quarterback position in the next couple years.
Yeah, I could see that. And I mean, but the Falcons also could draft the quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
They I mean, I really could see it going either way because I mean, yeah, Kyle Pitts he's a generational guy.
Yeah.
He's he's a Tony Gonzalez. He's a Travis Kelsey. You know, he's a Gronkowski. He's one of those tight ends. You know,
Yeah.
he's a generational guy, and so I could definitely see them drafting the Kyle Pitts, but also I could see them drafting a quarterback because there's been rumors of getting rid getting rid of Matt Ryan in the future, and also with that, if you drafted a quarterback now, you could also have him develop under Matt Ryan too, because Matt Ryan is still solid, and I definitely think it would be a smart move to draft a guy, whether it's this year or next year, and have him sit under Matt Ryan. Because Matt Ryan's a great quarterback to learn from. The dude's been throwing for 4,000 passing yards for like the last straight
It's
10
insane.
seasons, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. He's very consistent.
He's the most consistently pretty good quarterback in the league.
I think if you also obviously Julio Jones, he's still very good. Obviously, they missed out on taking the full advantage of him in the Super Bowl because I think that was the best time you could have won with him. But something bad had to happen. I'm not gonna mention a specific set of numbers for any Falcons fan watching. 20-3. But I will say that Kyle Pitts is definitely a transcendent receiver. I think honestly he's one of the few players where wherever he goes, he's instantly going to improve the passing game.
Yeah,
Instantly. He's just
yeah.
that dynamic. And I honestly my dream scenario would be that the Cowboys get him just cuz I know. Just cuz I feel like that would be good for listen. I don't want to see. I don't. I actually like Dak Prescott, as overrated as he is. I know you're giving me those. I know you're giving me those those snake eyes, but I get it. But I do want to see Dak Prescott succeed. I think if you got Kyle Pitts, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, that would be a monstrous. That would be an insane offense, and they would wreck your boys for a while. And I have no problem seeing that.
Yeah, but that's if he falls to 10, man.
No, 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 no. That's if the Cowboys trade up. He's not going to make
or
it to
yeah,
10. He's not going
yeah,
to make it to 10.
yeah, yeah. There's so many teams ahead of the Cowboys that need Kyle Pitts. As I said, the Falcons, the
Yeah.
Bengals could use Kyle Pitts. The Dolphins could use Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
The Lions
Any
could
team, any team can use Kyle Pitts.
literally any team could draft
Any
Kyle
team,
Pitts.
any team that doesn't have a good that doesn't have, that even if they don't have a good receiver, like they're not even tight end. If they don't even have a good receiver, they can use Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, yeah, I really think that there's no way he falls all the way to 10. No way,
Yeah, he's definitely
no way.
someone you if you're not four, if you're not number 4 or 5, you definitely got to trade up for him.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, move on to 5, the Bengals. I mean, I think
Uh,
they'll either draft Kyle Pitts if he's still available. The Falcons don't draft him. I think they'll
I don't know about that.
or they'll or they will draft probably like Penny Swell or something like that.
I think they'll either get Jamar Chase
Or oh crap, I'm forgetting about
because
receivers. Jeez.
to reunite him with Joe Burrow, and plus
Yeah,
Jamar Chase is like he's the most like NFL ready receiver of his class.
yeah. I mean, Devontae Smith won the Heisman, but like
It's the size. It might not
it's
work.
the
It's not gonna work in
size,
the
dude. He's a
NFL.
stick.
Not saying he can't be successful, and not saying
Oh,
he
for
can't even be
sure.
valuable, but he's not gonna go that high.
No,
So
no.
I think Jamar Chase is definitely the best receiver in this draft, the most NFL ready. He looks like an NFL receiver already.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Okay. You know what? No, that makes sense because
But they might get Panay sold, so I agree.
yeah. I mean, yeah. This is I think the first pick where I'm like really thinking about a bunch of options because yeah, I totally forgot about receivers in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, they need a receiver. They traded both Tyler Boyd and John Ross.
Yeah,
Wait, no, not Tyler Boyd. No, they traded AJ Green and John Ross.
yeah.
So they traded away, two solid receivers, and so they need another one. But also, who the hell is their tight end? Nobody. Nobody. is their tight end because
Well, I think if you want Burrow to develop, you got to get him weapons, man.
yeah,
And I think you can get a tight end somewhere along the draft, but I feel like you need to get him a number one. T Higgins is good. I don't know if he's a true. I don't think he should be Burrow's number one though.
no.
Yeah, you need a dynamic receiver. So I think and I honestly think if there's one thing, there's two major things that the Bengals need because Burrow is their most valuable asset. He's like the only valuable asset on that team. You need to get him protection or you need to get him a weapon. And so I think either you get Panay or Jamar. I think those are both good picks, but it needs to be one of those two.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so yeah, to me it's either Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, or like Penei Swell or whatever. I think there's another good offensive lineman. I can't remember his name.
Rashawn Slater,
Rashawn Slater. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, Rashawn Slater. Yeah,
who I
one of
hope the
those.
Chargers get.
I was asking for a bunch. The Chargers are at 13.
I know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but we'll see. Yeah. The Dolphins are at number 6. Once again, multitude of options there.
Yeah. I know they're gonna stick with Tua. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, they're gonna stick with
Get a
Tua.
quarterback.
Yeah, I don't see them drafting anybody in this draft.
That's the thing. It's like I feel like Kyle Pitts it might go to Atlanta if they keep the pick, but I don't know. So if they so let's say he doesn't go to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I don't. Here's the thing: the Dolphins. I don't know what they really. I mean, they do need a receiver.
They need a receiver. I think if Jamar Chase, I think if Jamar Chase is drafted before the Dolphins pick at 6, I think they're probably going to get Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle.
I think Jalen Waddle's a more safer pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. We said Penei Sewell. Okay, let's say Bengals are getting Penei Sewell, right? Let's just say they're getting him. Then I think the Dolphins get Jamar Chase. I think that'd be.
Yeah. Sorry, I think you lagged there for a second, but
oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
It's on my phone.
No, it's. But yeah, no, Penei Sewell, sure, to the Bengals, and then Jamar Chase to the Dolphins. I mean, yeah, I could definitely see that because Joe Burrow does need weapons, but he also needs protection too.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see the Bengals drafting Penei Sewell and then Jamar Chase falling to the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Dolphins are probably going to draft either receiver or Kyle Pitts if he's still available. But I think more so a receiver, just because who even is the best receiver?
I honestly don't know.
They just picked up Will Fuller from the Texans, and that's
he's a built number 2.
Yeah, built number 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have Devontae Parker anymore, right?
No, I think they still do. I just don't even.
He probably just hasn't lived up to his expectations. Though.
No, not yet, or at least not this last season.
Nah, he's old. He got drafted with I don't know, he got drafted in 2016. He's definitely done in terms of hitting his ceiling. He's done. Yeah. So I think they definitely need a receiver.
Yeah. And then the Detroit Lions at 7.
The Lions need everybody. They don't have a thing.
I've been hearing that they're gonna lean towards a DB or something like that.
I think that would be wise because they don't have Darius Slay anymore. They haven't had him for a while, but they haven't been able to replace him. So
they did draft a cornerback in the first round last season.
And I get that worked for him great.
Yeah.
So I think I feel like if Patrick Surtain is there, I think
that's the guy. Yeah.
I think he would be the best option for him, or for the team, I guess. But then again, the Lions lost Kenny Golladay. They need a receiver too, and you don't want Jared Goff going out there with a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, no, you're right. The Dolphins need a lot. They need DBs, they need linebackers, they need
everything. Every single thing they need.
Yeah. And honestly, the Lions are a wild card to me. I really have no idea who they're going to draft.
Yeah, they're one of those bad teams that just need every single position except quarterback, I guess. But
yeah, we know they're not going to draft a quarterback. Yeah, and they're probably not going to pick a running back either because DeAndre Swift is actually not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, the only positions I'm ruling out for actually they could also rule out the tight end position maybe because T.J. Hawkinson actually is not a bad tight end.
I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still pair him with Kyle Pitts. So I mean, yeah, and just going back to the point, the Lions are they need anybody. So I
They're an
really have no
abysmal.
idea.
They're an abysmal team.
Yeah, the Panthers are the next team. This is where I want Kyle Pitts to get drafted. This is where I want Kyle Pitts because the Panthers' offense is so dynamic. It's insane. Christian McCaffrey, you just drafted Sam Darnold, who I think is going to have a career revival um, with the Panthers. It's going to be the next Ryan Tannehill situation going to when he went to the Titans. You got Sam Darnold, you got Christian McCaffrey, and you got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and solid number three, David Moore. All they need is a tight end. If they can get Kyle Pitts, holy crap, the Panthers are honestly set.
I
Their
think the
offense is loaded. If they
I think
get,
the
it's
Panthers
already
are.
loaded, honestly.
It is loaded, so that's why I think they're gonna go with Rashawn Slater.
Yeah. So yeah, I've heard the talk. I've heard the Panthers are looking for. I've heard that they're actually looking between Kyle Pitts or Penei Sewell.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Rashawn Slater is also a solid option too. Because yeah, the Panthers, that's the other position they need on offense is just O line. Their O line isn't terrible, but it's also top notch. It's not top notch either.
Yeah, and the Panthers defense is definitely it's good enough where if you need key like players, you can get them later in the draft. But
Yeah,
you have Sam Darnold, you gotta even give him protection or a weapon.
yeah, yeah. So I think the Panthers are a bit easier team to evaluate. I think they're drafting either Rashawn Slater, Penei Sewell, or Kyle Pitts if he's still available on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then in 9, Denver.
They're gonna get Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, you think I
I think
could
they're
see
gonna
that?
go with Trey Lance.
So let me ask: Do you think that I've been hearing rumor of Mac Jones after his pro day potentially falling to second round in the draft? Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think there's going to be a team that picks up Mac Jones?
Not in the top 10. I don't think so. I mean, he had a bad pro day. People are figuring him out. He has a DUI,
Was
which
he?
is he has a DUI. So obviously that's terrible. Listen,
That's
there's one thing scouts don't that they do not play with. It's off the field antics,
yeah,
especially if
no,
you want to be a top 10.
especially DUI.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
and
immature
And so I
and
think that's going to
reckless.
cost them. Because Colin had Colin Coward, shout out to him, even though he's never going to see this, but
Yeah,
I do think he is one of the best football analysts that we have out there. And he brought up the DUI, and I didn't know about it. I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know about it, but he has a DUI. And if you off the field antics, especially, and look what happened to Laramie Tunsil. Was the same night he got drafted, a video of him comes out of him smoking with a gas mask bong, and he just fell in the draft. And
yeah.
so, but this obviously wasn't a sabotage. This was just like people are like, oh, he had the DUI. So I think he's definitely gonna fall. I do think at the end of the day, and I think Trey Lance with Denver is definitely gonna be a good fit. Obviously, I don't think he's gonna be that quarterback class in the AFC West is insane. Coming from a Chargers fan, it's just like Mahomes, Herbert, Derek Carr, who's been underrated ever
For
since
so
he's been
long.
drafted. And so I think that's a deadly quarterback class. Now, other people might say they might go for J.C. Horn, who's a South Carolina cornerback. He's like people are putting him number 2, number 1, because you do have three elite quarterbacks in your division, and so you're going to need help on stopping them and picking them off. So I think a quarterback or a cornerback is where they
I
go.
mean, they did just sign Kyle Fuller though, and they re-signed Justin Simmons as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, but they didn't have a good secondary last year.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's definitely gonna be better with re-signing Justin Simmons and signing Kyle Fuller.
yeah, it's an improvement,
Yeah.
but an improvement's not going to stop Patrick Mahomes from throwing 400
No,
yards,
no,
4 touchdowns on you.
no, it's not.
So, so yeah.
I could see that. Probably either DB or Trey Lance. Yeah, I could see that.
Mhm. Number 10.
The Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah, you go first.
Well, on offense, it's obvious. You only need a tight end.
Yeah.
They, you know, they're they're 100% not drafting a quarterback. It's not happening. They're not picking up a receiver. The receiving core is loaded.
Hmm.
Ezekiel Elliott, nope, they're not drafting a running back. The offensive line been solid for so long. All they
The
need,
defense is bad.
yeah, they're either trading up for Kyle Pitts, or if miracle happens, selecting him at 10, or I'm gonna be realistic. I don't think in my mind, I think they either trade up for Kyle Pitts or they select the defensive player at 10.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I mean, they need pretty much everybody on defense except for linebackers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they still
I
have
think they
Sean
have
Lee.
they still have okay edge rushers too.
Yeah. They still have Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, the other guy from Boise State. I can't remember.
Me neither.
But he was really good. I just can't remember his name. But he's a white guy as a linebacker for them. He was, gosh, I really can't remember his name, but oh well. Yeah, they need DBs or defensive linemen, so
Hmm.
or safeties too.
I don't think there's a good safety enough to pick that high for. So
Fair enough.
actually, no, they got safeties. They signed Keanu Neal and another guy.
Oh, that's right. They did sign Keanu Neal. That's right. Yep.
So I think they just need a cornerback or Kyle Pitts. It's Kyle Pitts or
Or D.
someone on there, or Micah Parsons, someone like that.
Yeah. Or D lineman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at this point, probably just talk team needs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we already started that, but yeah, at 11 is the Giants. Um, they could use a solid number two to Kenny Galladay. They could.
Nah, they
Um,
got they got enough people.
yeah. On defense, their defense line's not bad. Linebacker. Giants need a linebacker.
There's Micah Parsons then.
Yeah. Eagles. Eagles. At 12. Well, we need a receiver because we're.
Well, Jalen Waddle's there.
You know what? The thing is, I don't even know if I want the Eagles to draft a receiver. I saw a report over the last 10 years, the Eagles ranked 31 out of 32 in drafting receivers, which makes
Yeah, you guys are
absolute sense.
terrible. You guys are
Which makes
terrible.
absolute sense.
Yeah,
So I don't even know if I want them to try.
I wouldn't.
But I do know that we need a receiver. Although we did sign Eric Wilson, we could use another linebacker.
I don't know. I don't know who's going to be available on that. Or I don't know, like if someone's worth selecting that high.
Yeah, and then Chargers at 13.
I think we should get Elijah Vera Tucker. He's the best guard in the draft. I do want to protect him. I do want to protect Herbert. If not, if we don't go him, I'd rather get. And if Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle are still on there, I'd say just get another weapon for Herbert. I know we got Keenan Allen, we got Mike Williams, but oh no, we lost a tight end. If the Chargers got Kyle
Well, you
Pitts,
guys did sign Jared Cook.
we actually yeah we did. I don't so okay. Never mind then. We I feel like if we're not gonna get protection for Herbert, then let's get somebody for Herbert to throw to. I want the Chargers to be loaded on offense. I want us to have everything. I want us to have a good receiving core. Eckler will be a capable enough running back. He's not going to be a Derrick Henry or anybody, but he's a good receiving back, and he'll be able to get you like 4 yards on a rush. So I
You know
think
what I just thought? I think it would be a steal if the Chargers could draft Najee Harris, running back out of Alabama.
I wouldn't want that at all. I don't. I think Najee Harris he's definitely a later round pick. Najee Harris is. I mean, listen, most Alabama running backs are not. Derrick Henry's the only one that has proven to be good so far. Every year there's an Alabama running back. Trent Richardson. There was there was someone else. There's like Trent Richardson, who was a bust. I'm forgetting him, but that's just to let you know. That's just to let you know. There's every year is always whoever was running for the Alabama, they're going to be a top pick. Derrick Henry's been the only exception to that. Other than that, Alabama running backs do not work out. I don't want Najee Harris. The Steelers need Najee Harris. That's who they should get with their pick. But the Chargers need a receiver. They don't really even need one. I just want them to get one. But I would prefer they go O line because I want Herbert to be protected for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, okay. I think me and you have seen a couple yawns from each other quite a bit. We've been doing this for a bit.
Let's just go to 15.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll do the rest for next podcast. I like that idea. Yeah. The next pick, yeah, we'll just do the next two. Vikings at 14.
Vikings need a lot, dude.
Yeah, they need all linemen.
They don't need receivers. I know that. They don't need
receivers. They don't need receivers.
They need defensive players. That's what they need.
They've been losing defensive players.
Yeah, so I don't know who would be available. I think Kwity Paye. He's like a defensive end out of Michigan, I think. And people are like, I think he would be a good pick if he's there. Micah Parsons if he's still there. So I don't know. The Vikings need more defensive help. I think they got a good enough offense. They got a good offense. It's just Kirk Cousins is so inconsistent.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings could get a quarterback. You never know if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could.
Let's say Trey Lance is still there. You're gonna tell me they would pass on Trey Lance and have him sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year?
Yeah,
and the next season, Trey Lance, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. That would be a great scenario, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they need O-line as well. So yeah, O-line and defense for the Vikings. They've over the last few years they've lost solid defensive players.
Yeah, it's been too much.
Yeah. And then we'll conclude this with the number 15 pick, the Patriots.
Patriots signed like every single free agent available. So I don't really know what they need. I guess if they had to get somebody, they would probably get someone on defense. Just knowing that. I mean, maybe a receiver, to be honest. Maybe Devontae Smith or somebody.
Yeah, receiver, maybe running back, because who's a running back? James White?
Yeah.
James White is not an elite running back.
He's just a reliable running back.
Yeah. Maybe that's where Najee Harris could go, something like that. Maybe, yeah. Or some defensive player. I think one of the Chung brothers just retired, or one of the McCourty brothers.
No, Patrick Chung retired.
Yeah. But I think one of the McCourty brothers retired as well.
Aren't they both on that team?
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. Both Devin and Jason McCourty were both on that team. But I think one of them retired. So you could draft a defensive position to replace either them or Patrick Chung. So yeah. Well, I think that concludes episode 10 of the podcast. Unless you have anything else to say, Don.
Nah, I got nothing else.
No. Yeah, in that case, we'll be back to you next week just before the draft. Finalize it, our last thoughts. And if anything else happens, any other trades, any move ups, we'll see. And after that, we'll evaluate the draft.
Yeah, I can't wait for the draft. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to evaluate it too.
I can't wait for the Eagles to select some unknown receiver from some random school in Idaho over Jalen Waddle and over Devontae Smith. I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, we know.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Jeez. All right. Well, yeah, that concludes episode 10 of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.